authority to grow the plant and make products. Now, as a business, as an LLC, I'm allowed to have members, agents, basically anything to help further the business, whether it be the financial aspect of it, whether it be the cultivating farmers, all parts of research. I'm allowed to contract with people. So through my research, I was able to obtain a federal license that allowed me to put this law to work. The law's already been there. It's been there before. It was there before me. Went into a court case, and just like any other judicial court case, the odds are stacked up against you. So the man that started all this, the odds were stacked up against him. I became a member of his business. After becoming a member of his business, I became a business owner. When I moved to New Jersey, I was given the right to cultivate and research the plant. Well, I needed help researching, and I started contracting with people across the country like Hakim to enjoy the benefits of this long-standing existing law. At this particular point, contracting with us puts you under the umbrella of the 885. Research and development. Everybody always asks me, well, what does that entail, research and development? I wanted to read you something that was just entered and filed into a court case or another member as far as what research and development. And this is actually coming from another law. Give me one second here. Research and development. Hold on, my dog just stepped into the room. Move. The term research means any type of research to advance the image, desirability, marketability of cut flowers, potted flowering plants, and foliage plants. Now, give me a second. Now my dog's bothering me. Go somewhere. All right. How does one become a member? Well, the first thing that you guys got to do, what I've been learning, is read these laws and understand the laws that protect you. A lot of people come into this thinking that they're coming in and all they're going to be able to do is just smoke weed and buy weed. It's not what this is about. Came for the non-human consumption, job creation. Whether you smoke it, that's your business. My job is to have people cultivate it to create biomass for how many products are out there? 20, 30,000? As a private industry without the private company, without the backing of the big commercial, this is kind of like the mom and pop shops again. I'm the first offsite that's here in New Jersey. Hot moved down to Florida, so he's further in the jurisdiction to where he's able to cultivate. We got members in Texas. We got a couple members in California. We got members in North Carolina. I got members in Rhode Island. Got members in Massachusetts. Got members in Pennsylvania. Basically, everybody's privately doing their own thing. Every once in a while, they touch bases with me. They get into any trouble, they'll give me a call. I just had to, unfortunately, day before yesterday, I had to go bail a member out of jail because they didn't believe that the law existed. The whole thing with this is that until we get a trial, it's sad, but until we get a trial, people are going to continue to be given tickets, and then they got to show up in the courtroom, and when we show up in the courtroom, they get the cases dismissed. I'm interested in having members join in, but at the same time, it's like people got to understand what this is. You got to read the laws that you have in front of you that protects your business. 885, 822, and 802.27 are existing laws that were implemented in a California case, and then it was brought over here to New Jersey, it was implemented in New York. I mean, I don't. What is it exactly you want to hear?
Well, I think what you just did was explain in detail, right, what you've set up. Um, and I think that any misconception that a person has to what it might be has just been dispelled. I don't know, Marco, what question you might have.
As far as like, has anybody been held accountable for the weed situation, even though having it, or they every time they respect it?
Well, you can't. Okay, so it's
It's to grow it, right? But you don't really want to be outside in the street smoking it.
Let me ask you a question. Can you hear Rob?
I can hear Rob.
Okay.
No, I heard everything he said. He's saying that basically it's kind of like business
right.
to cultivate it. Right. When you cultivate it, you're gonna naturally smoke that shit.
All right. So what he's saying is that what I said earlier about like local law enforcement, right, doesn't know the law.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of you knowing the law and then you putting on the record what the law is and standing on that law, right? So he's not really looking to take on new members, because what's been happening is that people are looking in just to use it to smoke, and they're not really looking to use it for its full potential, which is job creation, right? Is growing so you can get the biomass from the plant. And then the biomass is then used for so many different things that has nothing to do with smoking.
Man.
No, but what I do want to share with people, and I'm very adamant about knowing the law. I want to share an experience that I had just sitting on my front porch when a police officer rolled up. Police officer actually walked by. He stopped. He looked at me, said, "How you doing?" He said, "Well," and I said, "All right." I said, "First, before you start anything, has your boss told you about the 885s?" He said, "No." I said, "All right, well, you finish go putting the cone down the street, and then you come back and we'll talk about it, because I don't want you to negatively. I want to educate you on who I am and what we do."
When you say negative, what do you mean by that?
Give me a ticket, try to lock me, try to kidnap me, anything that's negative, anything to do any injury to me. To injure me is to bring into law, bring into the legal system. I'm not trying to contract with no officers. Whoever I contract, that's between me and whoever I contract. If any officer comes at me pertaining to what they perceive as marijuana, the negative in me, because that's not what I'm involved in. But make a long story short, I educated him on who I was, and I sat on my front porch and I finished smoking my trees, and I went back in my house. There was no fear. When you have the law, there's no fear you're not doing anything wrong. And when I'm coming to find that people are still fearful, they're still fearful, and if you can't take a punch, this might not be the game for you, because law enforcement, they don't know yet. They don't know. It's so hard to understand why they don't know it, because all the information is out there.
Kiki Breathe Life has a question. She says, job creation as in dispensaries, employees, hemp products, etc.
No dispensaries. Dispensaries are non-profit, and they're regulated by the state. We are a for-profit business, and we are not regulated by the state. We're regulated by our own regulations and statutes.
And about the biomass, so you got to grow it and give them the biomass. That's what you said.
Again.
He wants to know in terms of the biomass. He doesn't like you're growing it to then do what with it? Like who are you giving it to? How are you selling it? What's it?
Well, as a registered business, I'm registered to manufacture, warehouse, distribute, sell. Right now, I'm collecting. I'm collecting all the biomass that I can. I have interviews that I've been taking, and interviews that are coming up with different researchers and different scientists that want to get involved. And my part is contracting with people who are passionate about changing the world. It's illogical to not have this plant in our lives when we have endocannabinoid system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now you also deal with doctors as well.
We have doctors that have participated,
Mm-hmm.
but the problem with a lot of these doctors, they can't get that marijuana word out of their mouth. And dealing with us, we know that not only marijuana is a racist term, but due to some new facts that have been entered into our jurisdiction, marijuana is also a commercial crime. Didn't know that before until the law came up and said it was a commercial crime.
So you say, like, word marijuana is a racial term. What is that? Where does that come from? What does that mean?
Well, Henry J. Anslinger, who was the first head of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, like the DEA, he stood in front of the world, basically, and said that black men and Latinos that smoke marijuana think they're as good as white men. Black men and marijuana makes black men crave the white women. Just things like that. You got to think of it. In the 1930s, those laws weren't made for people of color. Not in a good way. Those laws were made to contain us, to control us.
Right, but when you say the word, we don't use that word. That's not what we're dealing with, and that it's a racialized word, or it's a word that has legal ramifications to it. The average everyday person doesn't understand that. Like that's a very
Well, only thing I can say is this: the ones that want to incarcerate you are the ones that branded the illegal substance marijuana. The ones that want to incarcerate you branded marijuana an illegal substance.
right. So before a certain point, there was no such word. That word was created and stigmatized specifically to do something. That's what you're saying?
It was stigmatized to lock anybody up.
Yeah, I
I
heard
was
that.
dealing with it, and through time, they couldn't stop people from utilizing it. Doctors and pharmaceutical companies said, "Well, we could make some money from it." So obviously, you got the medical marijuana, which in Las Vegas, the Attorney General's office, they say that people with medical marijuana cards are unprosecuted felons in Vegas. That's the attitude of Attorney General's office.
That it's they're saying that it's criminal activity. We just not paying attention to you right now.
That's what it's saying to them because legislators are paying. They're paying, so officers aren't dealing with them. Dispensaries are paying, so officers aren't dealing with them. The ones who are making too much, I guess, causing too much attention, they go after them.
Now, you got a video on the website, Gamphace.com. Big shout out to Gamphace.com. GAMPHACE.com. If you haven't gone there, you need to check it. I'll post a link up in here with you. But on the website, there is a large assembly with Governor Christie. Can you give some information about that and how that? Christie's been known to run around the country to talk about he's going to shut it all down and how he's so anti, the movement. But yet, when you met him face to face in front of 700 people, I'll let you expound from there.
Well, that day was very, very special. 6 months prior to that day, I was locked up in Morris County Jail, maximum security, high-risk medical isolation for a 1998 traffic violation, along with the marijuana charge that they gave me. And while they put me through the system, I kept telling them, I said, you guys got me in here for this ticket. I have the only license here in the state to grow a plant. Governor Christie's going to hear about this. And 6 months later, they had a town hall meeting here in Paterson, New Jersey, in a church. And out of the 700 people, I stood up and he picked me. I said, "Wow." I'll be honest, when he picked me, everything that I wanted to say went out the window. It went out the window because I had time to think. I was so angry because I had what I had went through, having the status that I have. I shouldn't have went through any of that, but I went through it. And when he picked me, I just wanted to piggyback off of a gentleman who spoke before me that talked about corruption. So rather than, putting my foot down and say, get Obama over here and get Eric Holdover at the time, he had made a point about he'll go after corruption if the case was made and the facts were there. And I said, all right, well, rather than, complaining, I'm going to let the process work itself out. Like anything else, politicians, I mean, I'm not too cool with any politicians, really. Most of the time, it just lies. It just lies. If you saw the whole little video with Governor Christie there, which we do have, you'll hear him talk about how politicians, they take money from you, they put it in their pockets, and they go in the other pocket and pull out less money and give it back to you. I'm not a politician. So because I'm not a politician, I'm not politicking with them, they don't want to talk about me. That's fine. I'm in the private sector. Governor Christie had no choice after that encounter with he and I. 3 months later, he was running his campaign and came to his headquarters in Paterson. And I caught wind that he was in Paterson, so I decided to make my way down there to meet him. When I met him, he asked me how things were going, and I said, it's a process. He looked over my documentation. Well, I didn't even get to how he took the picture with me, but he looked over the documentation. I made sure he looked at it before he took the picture. He took the picture with me, and he told me that you got more today than you did yesterday. And I said, I know. And I left it at that. All I needed was the picture. He could run around all the country all he wants, just saying he's going to shut this down and shut whatever down. But by law, he knows he can't touch it. He's not supposed to. So he's got explaining to do to the people. I've been here since 2011. I went to politicians, went to my council people, and only thing I kept hearing is not fair, or it's not real, or they're trying to figure out another way to get around it. Yeah, he's gonna have a lot of explaining to do.
So this came you said this came from a 1970 act, right?
It's called the 1970 Controlled Substance Act.
So what happened there? Like
actually, 88581.
88581.
So what happened there? Like, what's the somebody debated?
What happened in 1970 to create that act?
That's a good question. You have to talk to the politicians about that. I had no idea the law existed until 2011. 2010, I was contacted by a gentleman who said he had a federal license in Oakland, California, by the name of John Phillips. A year after contacting me, I made my way out to Oakland. I stayed out on the farm for a month and a half, obtained my license to become a farmer. Made my way back to Jersey. 2 months later, I got a phone call and an email let me know that I was a new business owner now to register my business, and I did.
So you think that they don't want people to know about the thing because maybe it's kind of like getting into the business of weed, and maybe they don't want us. Not like what?
I forgot.
Trying to prevent you to do it? Like, are you like an enemy of the state because you know this information and they don't want you to prosper with it?
He wants to know, are you like an enemy of the state with this information, and that's why they don't want you to prosper with it? Like, what's keeping the state from?
What's keeping the state from what?
From sharing the knowledge?
Like why people don't know?
How come people don't know? Like why?
And why is it so
Because the
hard?
politicians aren't talking about it. I don't have to pay a politician to operate.
Yeah.
So there's never gonna really be a time where the cops just fuck with you on the street and respect it. It's like you gotta fight it in court, and they dismiss it.
He wants to know is there ever going to be a time where law enforcement respects it on the street level, or is there always
No, absolutely. They'll do that this year.
That's going to happen this year?
Yeah, that's going to happen this year. There's actually evidence. there's actually documentary evidence right now that was hand delivered to the Patterson Warrant Squad here in New Jersey, the Patterson Municipal Court in New Jersey, and the Patterson City Hall in New Jersey. There's some documentary evidence for some cases that are going on that people would be enlightened if they, tuned in. Call the courtroom, ask about it. If a case is of public interest, a judge is compelled by federal law to order a federal grand jury. People don't pay no attention, and politicians are not going to talk about it. The court's not going to talk about it. But as an administrator for my business, they'll respect it this year, all across the country. The law says they have to.
And he said
you have to present the law in a certain way.
And he says it stems from him.
And as time has been going on, I've been finding out how to present the evidence.
So you say you got to go about it a certain way. You have to present things in a specific way, and that's what's been happening with each case that we've gone through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So, I don't know if you have any more questions, Marco.
How do I become like him? Because he said something about he went to farm and he got a license, like a growing license. Like how easy is that to do? Or he spend a lot of time getting the initial setup. Like, is it easy?
He wants to know how much time went into you getting to the level you are with your licenses and having a business where you operate. How long was that process?
How long was it?
Yeah.
Overnight.
Like, how hard was it? Like, what are the steps?
He's not gonna tell you the steps. He wants to know the steps. What did you do? Come on, man. He's not gonna.
God, I'll tell you just like I told the judge and the prosecutor and the police officer. I got a pink slip. God made it happen. Prove he didn't.
He's like, I'm the boss.
Ownership is what? 9/10 of the law. I got a pink slip that says that that my business was established for industrial hemp cannabis, lawfully obtained, federally approved.
So how popular is it? Like, do a lot of people have it, or you one of the few people in the United States that have it?
The only person that has this license or set up like this.
No. I'm the only one, as far as I know, right now on the East Coast. There are others on the West Coast.
Yeah, man. So I don't want to keep you, Mr. Moore.
I was late. I'm sorry. We gotta come back and do it again.
I mean, anybody else got questions? I mean, I don't want to sit here and just look at y'all, look crazy.
There's a square open. Somebody join in.
Yeah, there's a square open. Somebody hop in.
I got a question. All these people that claim to see the video and claim to see the webpage, why aren't they calling the police department? Why aren't they calling the dispensaries? Why aren't they calling in the president and saying, what the hell's going on? You never hear me talk. I don't smoke medical marijuana. You check the video, you see we on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So My question is, how come people aren't calling to find out what's going on? Because I've been here since 2011. This is 2016.
Maybe
Been in the newspaper.
Because people ain't as bad as they say they are.
Seems that way.
Yeah, I see that, you know.
Hakim, though.
A lot
Hakim.
of fraudulent activity. But like I said, we down by law.
When you went through it,
Fucking mad-ism.
Yeah.
when you went through it the first time, right? How you felt? How confident were you that it was definitely gonna get you off? So they still locked you up. So now you got to fight it, but you got a way to fight it. But how confident you was? You wasn't a little scared? Like, damn, this shit ain't gonna work.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. It's what the law says. Like, I went to the government website.
Okay.
It's on the government website.
Okay.
Like, I see my man go through the process. I saw what he did. It worked for him. I went to the government website. It confirmed what I saw.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Rob?
I said it didn't work just for me. You know, a lot of people, when he said, you know, what is it going to take for it to be up and running? It's going to take the people to come together. I've had people come in, not believe it is what it is, get caught up, go to court, get their case dismissed because of the paperwork, but then stay silent. They don't want the truth to come out. And I mean, I'll tell you this much. All my life, I'll be 43 this year. In April, I'll be 43. I'm a military brat. My father was in the Marine Corps for 27 years. So I've been all over this country. And I've had when I lived in North Carolina, I had the KKK march right past my house. Even through that, I never experienced so much racism. I've never experienced so much racism as I have ever since I became a registered business here in New Jersey. I've watched members of who claim to be, at one particular point, they were members of the business. But as members of the business, I've watched them put together meetings with doctors and Congress and Senate people, and not mention the fact Gamphace got them out of their case, but continue to talk about medical marijuana, which is sad. People got to come together. And when I say people, I'm talking about people of color. Europeans too, but I'll tell you right now, it's been a sad experience dealing with Caucasians with this plant. And I'm not talking about smoking weed or marijuana. I'm talking about industrial hemp, cannabis, or medicine station. That's a lawful byproduct of the industrial hemp cannabis plant.
You know, right fast. I want to take a little commercial break, right? I want to play the song "What Is Madism" featuring KRS-One, and then maybe we can have a conversation about that particular song because we try to address some significant topics in that song relative to this conversation. Heads up drops in, won't show recording the audio archives yet, but we're working on it. Okay. So it won't be in the archive, but we'll be able to.
What is bad? Bad means a lot. This means pop. We gon' keep it moving, means we won't ever stop. Mary J. Reefer, weed, ganja, cannabis sativa, turned from marijuana. Smoked by the earliest man with no drama. Smoked by the lawyers and judges, yes, your honor. Smoked by the industry and ancient Dalai Lamas, smoked by the folks and early church fathers. Before the crack got him, before the crack gets him. Herb was the word, your man, you laughed with him. Sparked madism and got glad with him. Then in 85, bam, crack with him. Whole neighborhoods, damn, that did him. The worst that got hit for real was black women. So to split the joint, but people got back with him. It was madism versus crackism. Crackism lost the war to black wisdom. When the black wisdom returned to murderism, black men and women were living in bad prisons. So when it comes to legalization, what's your position?
What is that? 75 was the smack, 85 was the crack. Night with the bass heads, we said crack was whack. In the jungle with my brothers, found out black was black. The 95 mad is a real Christmas. Pass that back, got 5 on a 20. You can pass that hat if you ain't got no money. Can you at least snatch that grass? I'll be in the maze like days when I yearn for some haze, that's some grace. By law, in fact, 885, so I always got the ism intact. Channel live, let me light your fires, industrial pimp. Feel like a slave, no industrial hip. Let's crash the system, crash or blast system in the war on drugs. We fight back with badism. Reap what I know, you reap what you sow. So when you plant the ism, get to keep what you grow. If people don't snow, just say no to the cold boy, and yes to the troll. 17 a pound, let's get that dough. Get mad with the ism fired up and let it glow.
Yeah, man, that's What Is Madism, produced by Break Beat Blue, featuring KRS-One. And, that song was highly inspired by the work of Robert H. Moore Jr.
Yeah.
We wanted to...
Madism.
Exactly. We wanted to approach it from a political standpoint. Had to big up the 885ers. Talk about industrial hemp. Steel from Smith & Wesson gave us a 16. That's going to be mixed in pretty soon. We're going to have that live and direct for the folks. And he just continued the same theme, bringing the political, the politics behind the whole Madism movement, the whole cannabis movement. And you definitely got the God KRS-One, you know what I mean?
Well,
Yo, Hakim,
no more questions?
Huh?
What is
No more questions? That's it.
Now, Marco wants to know, what is Madism? Mad means a lot. Ism means pot.
This nigga said, let me perform the verse. It's in the verse. It's in the verse.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's been great, man. I appreciate it, Rob. You hopping on.
We gotta do it again when I'm, prepared, so I don't slow you down.
No, it's all good. We're gonna do it again. We can generate a bigger audience. This is really just a test. This is the first real conversation I actually had.
Yeah, this is dope.
And thank you too for joining in and helping me out with this.
No, absolutely. Big shout out to my man Hector. See him on the live chat over there. He was putting some info out there for you. He actually came.
Ali. Morales. Oh, good.
He actually came up to the farm in Oakland where I was. He's down in Southern California. I went to high school with him.
Okay.
He came up to the farm with me. And he became member number 309.
Really?
For the first hemp bank distribution network. I became 310. For Fed Schedule 1 marijuana exempt industrial hemp in New Jersey, I was member number 3. He was member number 4.
Wow.
I mean, excuse me, New Jersey, United States. The one out in Oakland.
Wow. Wait a minute, we got a new member, Clarence Everett. Hold on. Let me see if we pull Clarence in. Oh, here he come. Uh-oh. It's the God. And Clarence.
I gotta activate.
Yo, Marco, you've gotten into beefs with this guy on Facebook.
Brother.
What's up, bro?
Right.
Yeah, it's all new to me, man. I'm not up on all this technological shit.
Nah, I'm getting used to it myself. I got the homie Marco Polo on the line, aka Elvis Valdez. He gonna try to take some coffee. And I got my homie Robert H. Bud Jr. from Gameface on the line.
All right, what's good?
Peace.
Peace.
Hey, what up?
Yeah, we was having a conversation about my brother Robert's company, Gameface, of which I am a member.
Right.
Which is Federal Schedule 1 marijuana exempt industrial hemp of New Jersey. So researching.
Say that again for me just one more time, because I don't think people catch it. Words are codes. Unless you define the words you're saying, what are you really saying? So please say that name again and use the definition rather than the word exempt.
Right. Okay. It's federally registered Schedule 1 marijuana exempt.
Fed Schedule 1 marijuana removed. Industrial
Okay.
Exempt means remove.
Okay. You said define it. Right. Exempt, remove.
So Fed Schedule 1 marijuana removed industrial hemp cannabis.
Of New Jersey.
So the name itself lets you know that we don't deal with marijuana.
Still don't understand.
Still
don't understand it. Shoot.
He still can't hear me, right?
No, he still can't hear you.
You should ask him if he can hear you.
Clarence, can you speak so we listen? I want to see if Rob can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Wonderful. I heard you loud and clear, bro.
Marco.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, Marco's not up.
Yeah, Marco's not up.
Need to get off.
But I hear him. I see him. I hear him.
Clarence can hear Marco. I can hear Marco. It's just between Rob.
Maybe
Yeah, I can't hear him.
got me muted. Look at the bottom.
On my screen, it says he's blocked by a firewall.
Yeah, go to the bottom.
Okay, no, I'm seeing the brother and I'm hearing him.
You gotta unblock it.
Rob.
I'm saying
You gotta unblock the firewall. Where it says blocked by firewall, you gotta unblock it.
Blocked by firewall.
You gotta unblock the file.
Wait, hold on. I got two computers going, and one computer I see everybody.
that's the one.
All right, that's
You hear me?
all right. There we go. So yeah,
I don't think you hear me. Tell him that at the bottom of the screen is like a little speaker shit right there. He gotta click it so he can hear me. On my shit, like on my little square, on the bottom is a speaker.
Yo, y'all,
Okay.
give me 2 minutes. Be right back.
yeah. So Clarence, we're having a conversation about the word marijuana, where it originates from, why it's used, the legal ramifications with that word, and how possession, like the way the company is situated is in the private sector. So it's like claim and defend. This is my private property. It's not marijuana. That's a term that you created that doesn't define what it is I have. This is this, and I can. Law says I can possess this, and then there are actually laws on the books. 1970 Controlled Substance Act, Section 885. Burden of proof and liabilities, 802 and 822. Ultimate user definitions goes into industrial hemp farmers and being able to grow and possess for whatever you want, non-human consumption, but it's your private property. You can do what you want with it. They have no questions. So he's been through the court systems. Rob has, I have. and we've both stood on this law, and it gets they would like to dismiss it. Rob wants to go to trial, so it's on the public record that we stand, we exist, we're lawfully, we're following the law.
Established case law, so to speak.
Right.
Truth they run from. Go lay down.
Right. Well, I'll tell you this. There are many medicinal herbs that are widely available that elicit the very same effect, whether you smoke it, vaporize it, drink it, or chew it and imbibe it, that will have more deleterious effects on your body than hemp and marijuana ever would. So there's still a lot of things that go unexplained. So the laws against marijuana have done more harm than marijuana itself has done. So there's a lot that is going on with respect to it, and I'm glad see that once these states started legalizing it and breaking in these billions of dollars,
Breaking
great boys started getting money.
Yeah, your phone's breaking up. See.
Sir. I was saying that once a certain demographic started getting involved in it, farming it, distributing it,
Yeah, they don't
opening up.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing all these legislative, what would you call it, guffaws about.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah, but the sad part is everybody's sitting around letting these legislators talk about new language rather than talking about what's already existed.
Exactly. Well, you know why? Because what's already existed has been obscured.
True.
They already vilified it. They spent like 60, 70 years vilifying something. And now they're trying to find new ways to explain old things.
That's the truth. That's the truth. The only thing that I continue to tell people is, how legal will your legalization be if they don't respect and honor what already exists? How legal is legalization going to be?
Hey, Rob.
Yes, sir.
What happened in Pennsylvania?
Oh, wow. Pennsylvania, I got pulled over. I got pulled out of the car. I got locked up. Got a court date. I entered paperwork into the court. I walked into the courtroom. The judge called me up. My paperwork said that the case is being removed from Pennsylvania to the federal courts in Newark. That pissed the judge off, I guess. I don't know. But because I wouldn't enter a plea in his case, he put handcuffs on me. And when he put the handcuffs on me, I started explaining to him who I was. And when I got done explaining who I was, it was about 15 minutes. About 15 minutes. When I got done saying what I said, he said, "Mr. Moore, I find you in contempt of court. I sentence you to 15 minutes in handcuffs."
What? That's some bullshit.
15 minutes in handcuffs is what the judge sentenced me to, because he didn't know who I was until I opened my mouth and told him.
15? I don't even know they have that.
They took the handcuffs off me, and I went home.
That's crazy.
Just like that?
If I didn't open my mouth, it wouldn't have been like that. He told me if I didn't enter a plea, he was going to lock me up until later on in the afternoon, come and get me, and ask me again for a plea. And that's when I opened up my mouth and said, I'm an 885. Lawfully obtained, federally approved.
So how
down like that.
I was asking you before if it's federal, like it's not just different states, it's federal. Like they on the federal level it's like decriminalized growing of marijuana.
I can hear somebody.
Yeah, it's what I want you to do, Marco, is go to the website, right?
Yeah.
Because Rob explains it the best, and he explains it on the website.
But just isn't respected by the federal people. It's like it's above state, right?
We had a member join in Florida
Yeah.
who called the DEA in this area and told them about Gameface and his membership in it. They congratulated him and told him about some other programs that he qualified for.
They try to get him on 18. That's crazy.
What's up with Clarence, yo? Clarence is coming back in.
This is a good platform, though. I like this.
Yeah, we have to bring people to us. You know what I mean?
It'll happen.
Clarence is having problems logging in. He's trying.
Let me read something to you.
Please do.
7 USC 74. Title 7, Chapter 74. Floral Research and Consumer Information. Section 4311. Exemptions from assessment. Any producer or importer whose total sales of flowers and plants do not exceed 100,000 during a 12 consecutive month period prior to the date an assessment is due, and payable shall be exempt from assessment under the subchapter under such conditions and procedures as may be prescribed in order or rules and regulations issued hereunder, and shall not vote in any referendum under this subchapter. So what that is talking about is the next stage for Gameface. There's an actual law that says if you're not profiting, if you're not making over $100,000 off of trees, there's no reason for any law enforcement. There's no reason for anybody to come check you out. You can be just like you're growing tulips. You can be growing roses. These are laws that are already on the books that people aren't aware of. And, I got pushed into a corner to where I have to start searching for the way out, and along the way, there's all these pieces that keep dropping that we're picking up and we're bringing into the courtroom to add to our assets, I guess you could say. So this is another exemption law. Let me give that to you again. Chapter 7, 74. Title 7, Chapter 74, Floral Research and Consumer Information. Section 4311. That's something for people to look at. In that chapter, they should look at the definitions. And then there's also the very beginning, 4301, the Congressional Findings and Declaration of Policy. Congressional Findings and Declaration of Policy. Flowers and plants are an integral part of American life, contributing a natural and beautiful element, especially urban areas, to what is an increasingly a man-made artificial environment for this country's citizens, providing comfort, pleasure for many special occasions, as well as for everyday living. Flowers and plants work against visual pollution, and in case of green plants, generate oxygen within their environment. The flowers and plants to which this chapter refers are cut flowers, potted flowering plants, foliage plants. These flowers and plants are produced by many individual producers throughout the United States in foreign countries. These products move in interstate and in foreign commerce. And those that do not move in such channels of commerce directly burden or affect interstate commerce of these products. The maintenance and expansion of existing markets and the development of new or improved markets
and uses are vital to the welfare of flowers and plants producers, brokers, wholesalers, retailers throughout the nation. The floral industry within the United States is comprised mainly of small and medium-sized businesses. Just for the record, I am registered as a 5611. That's a business code that sticks to flowers and related merchandise. That's the business code that the state of New Jersey has me under. The floral industry within the United States is comprised mainly of small and medium-sized businesses. The producers are primarily agriculturally oriented companies rather than promotion-oriented companies. The development and implementation of coordinated programs of research and promotion necessary for the maintenance of markets and the development of new markets have been inadequate. Without cooperative action in providing for and financing such programs, individual flower and plant producers, wholesalers, retailers are unable to implement programs of research, consumer, and producer information and promotional necessary to maintain and improve markets for these products. It is widely recognized that it is in the public's interest to provide an adequate, steady supply of fresh flowers and plants to the consumers of the nation. The American consumer requires a continuing supply of quality and affordable flowers and plants as an important element in the quality of life. It is therefore declared to be the policy of Congress and the purpose of this chapter that it is essential and in the public interest to authorize the establishment of an orderly procedure for the development and financing through an adequate assessment of an effective and coordinated program of research, consumer and producer education, and promotion designed to strengthen the floral industry, position in the marketplace, and maintain, develop, and expand markets for flowers, plants, and flowering plants. Nothing in this chapter may be construed to dictate quality standards or provide for control of production or otherwise limit the right of individual flower and plant producers to produce commercial flowers and plants. Nothing in this chapter may be construed as a trade barrier to flowers and plants produced in foreign countries, and this chapter treats foreign producers equitably. Now, that being said, Congress has already established a legal framework. So Congress and the DEA actually, they established a legal framework to get this business started a long time ago. The legal framework was pulling these statutes, pulling these codes together in a constructive manner in order to operate in commerce. The people did that. The government didn't do it. The people did it. The government didn't do it. I can't believe that the people were fighting so hard to protect the government who's keeping the truth away from you. The Constitution was not for us. The Constitution was to keep them in check. That's what it's for. They take an oath to uphold the Constitution because they are public servants. Well, like I said, there's some ongoing cases and there's plenty of information in there, and it's of the public's interest.
I think that you touched on something really important in terms of understanding government, role of government, power of the people, who's really in charge.
Well, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole other story in the sense of, like, when you go into the courtrooms, every time you step into the courtroom, you're in dishonor. Doesn't matter who you are. Every time you step into the courtroom, you open your mouth, you're in dishonor. That courtroom is a probate courtroom. It's all about money. When you go in there talking about the crime that you committed, the judge is looking at a computer seeing how much your estate is worth. He's not thinking about the crime that you committed. So all the courtrooms are over, all the judges, they're overseeing your estate. We'd have to get into another conversation about that.
there's a something that everybody should search. I'm gonna spell it out first for you so you can check it out. It's CESTUI space QUE CYPHER Act. QUEVIE Act. This has been something that I've been studying for the past 2.5, 3 months now. It's brought some enlightenment.
It's from 1666.
1666.
Correct. I believe it was 1664, 1665 when London had a big fire. When they had a big fire, the bishop and all the other religious leaders got together in closed session. And at that particular time, some of the Englishmen, people from London, the UK, had traveled over to the New World America, and some of them weren't coming back. Well, they had these estates. And the king agreed that, and all the bishops and everything, they agreed that they decided to have a closed door meeting and said that they own everything. They claimed dominion over everything. And they said, unless you come back to claim it, you're dead. Unless you come back to claim your estate, you are dead. So when you walk into the courtroom, your estate is being held by the state, whatever state that you're in. And when you walk into the courtroom, that court administrator, she's the trustee of your estate. That judge is the administrator of your estate. That prosecutor is presenting himself as the executor of your estate. And you're standing in the courtroom as the debtor of your estate, rather than the beneficiary of the estate or the executor of your estate. Now, once you become the executor of your estate, you get to do what all the judges are doing anyway. I'm going to jump from 1666 to 1933. 1933, Congress promised international bankers, we'll give you the collateral. International bankers said, we'll give you everything. But we got to be able to track everything. 1933, I believe that's when Social Security came in.
Yep.
Yeah. So we became the collateral for Congress. What is the definition of Congress? I believe it has something to do with transgression, I believe.
Congress. Is Congress the opposite of progress?
Sounds like it.
It started in 1969. Social Security? It started in 1969.
No, Social Security started. Social Security started in 33.
You're not right. In the history of Social Security,
from 1933 to 1935, there was more statutes and regulations put into effect. There was like, let's say there was 5,000 rules and regulations put in from 18.
Hey, Rob.
Yes.
Because we got a request. The Love Movement wants to know if you can share the link in the drop box or in the comment box so people can follow along. Thank you, the Love Movement.
That was just off the top of my head. I thought they were going to Google it. I don't have no paper in front of me reading. I'm sorry. Let me see. Excuse me. Actually, since you want me to get the links, let me get the paper real quick.
And the Love Movement, just to give you the heads up, I don't know if I told you earlier, this is the wonderful person who put me on to this platform, right? And she's doing some tremendous work in activism And she's into the holistic movement as well. So she's really in tune to this conversation. So, you know, if you have any specific information, links, references that you want to share, it would be very helpful to do that.
I'll say this. I already put the drop out there for the CYPHER Act, and people are going to have to learn: united we fall, divided we stand. You have to understand. You have to manage your estate. You have to realize how they look at us. I found a law today. Last night. I found a law today that put us in the category of animals. It's an actual law that puts us with the animals, not limited.
When you say us, clarify when you say us. You're not just talking about like, you know, usually we say man. Not black people, African Americans, not everybody.
Man
and woman, woman, or just men?
It said man.
What's the name of the law?
Woman. So they're two.
Yo, I'm gonna encourage liveliness in the discussion. Rob, Marco, anybody else that wants to join the chat, please hop in. But I'm gonna encourage liveliness. You know, Rob, you have a lot of important information for folks, and for the layman, a lot of the terms, although they may be simple terms to us, can be very complicated in terms of their usage, because the way the system uses a word is different than the way we might use it in layman's terms. So if you can be as clear as possible, be helpful.
True. I'll tell you this. I know nothing. I can tell you anything, but you don't know nothing until you search it yourself. I dropped out of high school my senior year. I went back 3 years later, got my GED. Did a little bit of architectural drafting, but I never went to college. I picked up the book, I picked up the internet, and I started reading, and I started searching. I mean, you can believe anything I tell you, but you won't know until you search for yourself. So I can't go into depth exactly what I know, because I don't know nothing. You got to search for yourself and come to your understanding. Because regardless of how I tell you, it's going to be up to you how you walk it.
Yeah. It's definitely helpful when you add reference for clarity. Yeah.
No doubt. No, I will.
Because
I will. Hold on.
Fish.
Yeah. What am I looking for here? Actually, I just put it up on my Facebook. Are you waiting for me, Hop?
yeah, should I go to a commercial break?
Sure. I mean, what was the question again? Which one is she looking for? So I pull the link up. Or you want the animal one?
I don't know. I don't know. The love movement. The link that you were asking for was in reference to anything specific, if you're still there?
Hop.
Yes, sir.
There's another name I want to drop for people to check out, do their research on. Her name is Tammy Peppermint. TAMIPEPPERMAN. I highly suggest you check her out and you take the time. I mean, her videos can go up to 3 hours.
Her name is, say again?
Tammy Peppermint. I've learned a lot from her. I've executed her techniques, and I've seen the outcome.
Really?
It says Plain Public
Yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah.
What's so special about Tammy Peppermint?
Well, Tammy Peppermint was the one that introduced me to my estate. I didn't know I had an estate. She introduced me to my estate. She introduced me how I was separated from my estate. And she introduced me how to gain my estate back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tammy Peppermint.
Yes.
Mm.
She has a YouTube one called The Matrix. YouTube video called The Matrix. She got quite a few interviews that she's done.
Now you can always share. So you can share these links in the. You can drop them in. You know. You can share them in the thread.
You know what?
People
Okay.
copy and paste, and you know.
Okay.
Let's try to use this platform. Let's try to max it out. Like really use it as a tool to get information to folks.
Got it.
Okay, so what we've done is we held Oceana County, Michigan under indictment for larceny by trick, as a duty by example. We did the county larceny by extortion, and the main one was the larceny of lost.
Yeah, that's her.
Or delivered property. Okay. This one applies to the birth certificate. When you're delivered in a hospital, according to the Certificate Act. That's where you're placed.
With Mary Croft.
Yeah, but I'm going to put her actual link in there so people can study from the link. It's good to go to those videos and listen to all those videos. I've listened to many, many videos and then start studying the documents and the evidence that she has out, what they've done. Let me, oh, okay.
Got it.
Some powerful stuff in there.
So thank you.
Absolutely.